Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Operator 2.0 course, where I teach you how artificial intelligence can work for you in such a way where you can see a transformation in your life specifically. So I'm Jones, and I'm going to be directing you through this next lesson where we focus on 3 mindset shifts that you have to have in order to be able to start understanding and articulating your way of using AI technology to your advantage. Okay, so starting with number 1, which is my biggest, is growth. Using AI and growth mindsets to set goals, adapt quickly, and turn failures into feedback. So many people over the course of history have talked about how failure, and one of my favorite, failure is learning. Okay, so one of my favorite quotes by Napoleon Hill is that when you fail, it should be data. This should be data so that you can learn how to optimize your processes in the future. Failure should never push you to quit anything. In fact, it's your consistency that matters most. If you are not consistent, then you're going to see a ship that is sailing nowhere, right? So growth is using AI and growth mindsets to set goals, adapt quickly, and turn failures into feedback. Now, setting goals is a very meticulous process because people think it's a one-liner when you set a goal. The more specific you are with your goal, the further it is that you can travel with clarification and a map to be able to get there. So asking better questions is a huge pillar when it comes to growth, right? Like, good answers come from great questions, So these are just this is a normal way of thinking. The better the question, the better the answer. The details matter, right? So comfort, building balanced routines with AI that reduce stress and let you learn at your own pace. This is where you can start to get into day-to-day activities. So if you're not feeling good and you go to a doctor, right? What is the first 3 questions that the doctor will ask you when you show up there? How are your sleeping habits? How are your eating habits? And are you exercising daily? Those are the 3 generic questions that they would ask when you show up at the doctor's confused about how you feel, right? Unless it's a specific problem that you have, okay? So having a daily routine, okay, and having something that you can use as a pillar to be able to travel through each day and process each day at the highest potential level that you can, okay? That is directly correlated with your routine and how you structure your day, okay? Clarity is another thing, but focus on your top priorities by cutting distractions and using your AI to guide decisions, okay? Distractions are something that we know have taken time from our day. Distractions are like scrolling through social media, going through senseless video content, creating things that aren't really relevant to what it is that you're trying to do or trying to build, spending time in places or with people or on things that don't align directly with the goals that you're building in your growth. We talked about that just recently. Your growth matters, right? So comfort is another way of keeping yourself focused and keeping yourself pedaling along with a balanced routine. Now, I don't want you to confuse comfort with pampering myself or making sure that I'm constantly relaxed or constantly, because a lot of the greatest and hardest decisions and things that we've built in this life in history have been inherently uncomfortable. So I don't want you to twist comfort and think that I constantly have to be at ease, relaxed, comfortable. That's not what it means. It means you have to be comfortable in your routine. You have to be comfortable in your process so that way you don't question yourself when you do the things that you know you need to do and exercise the discipline that you need to be able to push forward in this life, right? Having clarity, which is one of my favorites, is focusing on the top priorities by cutting distractions and using AI to guide your decisions, right? There's a key word there, guide. It's guiding your decisions. That doesn't mean it's making decisions for you. Okay, so there's a big difference, right? As a guide, you're only suggesting the things that you need to do or the way you need to think or the processes you need to focus on. That doesn't mean it's telling you how to do your processes or doing your processes for you, right? People get confused. I had someone ask me, well, how is this possible when it's writing emails for me? So does that not count as doing something for you? You may think that writing an email for you is doing something for you, which inherently by regular standards it is. But the idea came from you. The concept came from you. What was supposed to be written down in such a way where the other person receiving the email understands it came from you. So you need to understand that it's not doing something for you. It's just taking your process and what it is you want to project and what it is you want to communicate and making it the easiest, best, most concise way possible. So then that way that process is inherently easy for them to understand, right? So having clarity is a huge asset when it comes to artificial intelligence. That's usually what you're supposed to be using it for in the first place, right? A lot of people use this technology as a toy. They use it as something to create simple things that don't really matter, like funny images, funny videos, trying to talk about real serious topics in the world and making them something that's kind of like, lowering the level of understanding for people by using humor or entertainment. I mean, that's good too if you're looking to just promote something and try and keep things a little more balanced and not so serious. However, you got to be careful, right? Because if you get too lost in that place, you're not going to understand that what you're doing is a very serious thing. And how you do it is also just as serious as what you're doing itself, right? Now, it leads me into my final point for this lesson. Access AI as a 24/7 coach to learn skills and apply them to real world projects, right? So there's going to be things that you don't know. And those things that you don't know are things that you can get the clarity, the skills, the information that you need to be able to actively do the thing that you want to do and make it in such a way where you can pursue it professionally. Right? So let me explain. If you're a person that wants to be a professional hockey player, right? People would ask, well, how am I supposed to use AI as a professional hockey player? That, I'm out there on the ice in the physical and I how do I use AI technology in a situation like that? Well, I'm so glad you asked because AI technology has the ability to give you the exact routines that you would need to follow according to professional NHL players. Put in your exact heroes. Allow the AI to scan what it is that they would use as a daily routine and then get it to give you a version that you can use personally just as the professionals do. And this printable planner that you get will give you exercises that you need to do on a daily basis, stretching, equipment that is probably on the highest spectrum of you to be able to buy and use as a professional player. Now, again, you can put in details like your budget, right? Because not everybody has the budget for the most expensive equipment. You can get a better idea of what leagues would be good for you to play in, because as a young hockey player that's not in the NHL yet, there are certain leagues that you can play in that are just kind of like co-ed knucklehead, kind of for fun. And then there's other leagues that you can get into that are very serious, like your dream to be a hockey player. And you can get all of this detail and all of this information on a moment's notice, depending on the details that you give the artificial intelligence. So it can assist you in things like trying to be a hockey player, or trying to be a skilled tradesman, or trying to be something that involves a physical amount of dedication and skills on a daily basis to accomplish, right? It just gives you the clarity that you need. It gives you the processes that you need to focus on and the routines you need to build in order to be that person. So I actually love that part, because knowledge and clarity comes hand in hand, right? All we're doing is we're developing the mindset shifts that you need to develop in order to be able to understand that these things can work for you too. You just need to know how to use it. Right? So I do appreciate you tuning into this one. This is just giving you some very quick mindset shifts. And then again, I want to make sure that you know that there will be a downloadable PDF that gives you some key takeaways from this lesson. And it's going to give you example prompts that you can use to try and get ChatGPT to start working for you right away. Now, I do want to add as well that we are in the future going to explore different open source AIs, because I've had many people approach me and say, well, you continuously talk about ChatGPT. Well, what about these other open source AIs that are available to us in the future? Well, those will be talked about too, but the concepts and the fundamentals are still the same. It doesn't matter what open source AI you're using. Your mindset needs to be in a place where you understand exactly what it is that you want to do, exactly the things that you need to learn about in order to get the information that you need, and the exact process that you need to practice on a daily basis to get to where you want to be. So I appreciate you tuning into this lesson. This is the 3 mindset shifts from the Operator 2.0 course. Download the PDF, give it a shot, and we'll see you in the next video.